Yo, what is good people? Ben from Lover of Tech, and we are back with another video. Yes, iPhone 15 Plus is in-house. Let's unbox it, give you our first impressions, and actually compare it to the Galaxy S23 Plus. So here we have it, the iPhone 15 Plus. We've got it in the yellow color, in the 128 gigabytes of storage, fresh in the box. And before we proceed, a big thank you to Vodafone UK for supplying the iPhone 15 Plus for testing and review. There will be links in the description below of where you can get the latest deals on the iPhone 15 series, including the iPhone 15 Plus on Vodafone UK. So definitely check them out. Really appreciate the support so we can get this content out to you. That out of the way, let's get into the unboxing. Ooh, all right, pull tabs. Boom. Right, Apple's done something different when it comes to the design of these, and ooh, yeah, ooh, these feel nice. These feel and look nice. I'm gonna tell you right now, this probably even feels better than the Pros, and I've got the 15 Pro, so, ooh, okay, this is the yellow color, all right? Yeah. I know a lot of people are complaining about the pastel look and wanting them to be a lot more saturated, but I actually disagree. I like these. Okay, let me put this to the side for a moment. Of course, we know that we've got now the switch to USB-C. No longer do we have the Lightning port. Good riddance. Thank you to USB-C. We have that here with the braided cable that's in here. USB-C to C, 2.0 speeds, 2.0 speeds on the 15 Plus and the 15, not obviously on the 15 Pro, which is the USB 3 speeds at 10 gigabits per second. This is 480 megabits per second. Of course, you've got the standard SIM ejector tool and the Apple instructions and booklet. Yes, in the UK, we still do get a physical nano SIM card tray compared to USA. So sorry for my US crew, put this to the side. And of course, iPhone 15 Plus in yellow. Wow. Oh, wow. Nah, I'm not gonna lie, this feels really nice. But yes, let's get the screen off. Whee! Put this to the side. And this is the iPhone 15 Plus. And before we turn it on, this is obviously made of the aluminium frame. And this is brushed. You've got slight contouring and you've got the physical buttons on the left. We don't get the action button. We still got the traditional mute toggle switch, which still feels good, but once you go action button, you almost can't go back. Yes, at the bottom, we do finally have the USB-C port. We've got a microphone and a bottom firing speaker and the top firing speaker at the top here, as well as the power button, or as they call it, the side button on the right. We've got the dual cameras there, which is the main wide and the ultra wide, with now a new 48 megapixel main sensor. And of course, you do get the dynamic island, AKA the virtual touch bar, which is a better name for it, Apple. But again, we move and we're gonna turn it on, boot it up, get into the menu, see how it feels, and then bring out the Galaxy S23 Plus and compare it. Now here we are set up into the iPhone 15 Plus. Let's do a quick walk around. And again, like I showed you before, this is the yellow color. And as much as people are saying they wanted this color to be more saturated, I love what Apple have done here. And I'm gonna go on record and say, unpopular opinion, I feel like these ones feel way nicer than the Pro. Now don't get me wrong, the Pro's where it's at because it's got a triple camera, you've got a USB-C port that's faster, amongst other things like 120 Hertz ProMotion display, and obviously the new action button. The Pro's where it's at, but in terms of feel, I actually like the feel of the Plus and the normal, model. Man, I'm even speechless because I'm just surprised how much I'm really liking the satin matte finish with this color infused finish that they've done. This is the first time they've done this to a normal numbered iPhone, which pretty much all of them come with a glossy back. Well done, Apple. I really appreciate this. Obviously the aluminium matte finish as well. And of course, although it doesn't have the slimmer bezels of the Pro, it's okay. And I appreciate the fact that you've got the virtual touch bar, aka the dynamic island. But of course, all the things that they've done, see this phone as an iPhone 14 Pro Max, but now with a USB-C port, right, which is more universal, right? And one less camera. So what does that basically mean? It basically means that this display is running at 60 Hertz. And just see this as the speed and the smoothness of the display. Like, think of a car. If your car can do 120 miles an hour, that's 120 hertz. This does 60 miles an hour, aka 60 hertz for the display. So it doesn't feel as smooth as how you would have a smooth experience on here with the Pro, because this is 120 compared to 60. But we'll just give it a bit of time. And I really hope in the future, Apple just gives users at this price point a 90 hertz display. But it is 2000 nits of max peak brightness, 6.7 inches. All the benefits that you get with the 14 Pro Max display, it's here minus 60 hertz. So we'll take that as it is. This is what we have so far when it comes to fit and feel. Feels right at home. Let's open up the camera and see what we have here. So one of the first things you're gonna notice is the new next generation portrait mode, which again means you can take portrait shots of people without having to go into portrait mode. It's gonna capture all the portrait depth information in normal pictures of people and objects when you tap it. And then when you go in there afterwards, you can change it to portrait mode and add it yourself and change the blur. Great, I love this. Thank you, Apple. This is making the portrait experience pretty much the best on any smartphone right now. And of course, we've got the main new camera, which is 48 megapixels. Again, this is not the same 48 megapixels on a 14 Pro Max or the 15 Pro and 15 Pro Max. This is a new one that is not as big and not as wide, but it's dedicated. It's 26 millimeters. And this is something that's on there with an ultra wide. But again, you don't get a dedicated zoom lens like 3X or more. So we've got an ultra wide, 1X, 2X center crop, and we can shoot all the way up to 4K 60. Let's see if they've improved the 4K 60 just like on the Pro. So if you press record, you can switch in between the main and the ultra wide while you're recording in 4K 60. This is something you couldn't do on the 14 series, but you can do on the 15 series. And this is using the same A16 Pro, sorry, not A16 Pro, the A16 Bionic chip that you find on the iPhone 14 Pro. But for whatever reason, the iPhone 14 Pro can't switch between the lenses on a 4K 60. Apple give it a software update for that. So this is what we have here. Again, what are some of the benefits that you have when we go into the camera? Let's go into the camera and see that when it comes to formats, we've got the new 24 megapixel default shooter mode, which you can change to 12, but remember 12 is in low light. And you've got the resolution control, which means that you can of course shoot in the high resolution picture mode as well. So if you go here, Hef Max, which allows you to shoot a full 48 megapixels as well, which is great to see. So let's bring in the closest competitor, which is Samsung with the Galaxy S23 Plus. Again, be sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. I will be doing an in-depth camera comparison between these two because these are the plus size model phones that go against each other. And again, this has a dedicated 3X zoom lens, a 50 megapixel main sensor, and of course an ultra wide as well. Compared to what we have, this is gonna be a very interesting bout. Here we have it. Okay, 6.6 inches, 6.7 inches. The display on here is equally symmetrical on the borders. You've got a small hole punch at the top rather than the virtual touch bar, aka dynamic island. And the biggest advantage is, although the iPhone 15 Plus does have a slightly higher resolution display and a brighter display at 2000 nits compared to 1750 nits, you do have a smoother 120 hertz display. And again, for those that don't understand it, just see it as it's a faster and smoother display, and it helps make the phone feel a lot more faster and responsive, not just to your sight, but to touch. This is limited to 60 hertz. That is an advantage that you have here. So I'm really eager to see how they hold up. But again, let me give you a quick preview. Let's take these phones outside so I can show you how the cameras perform before we go into an in-depth one. So we're starting off with the 4K UHD 60 frames per second video recorder mode on the iPhone 15 Plus and the Galaxy S23 Plus. I just want to state this for reference. I do also have the standard iPhone 15 and S23, right? The 6.1 inch models, and they have the exact same camera systems on both. So I'll be using this clip to reference both videos when it comes to initial camera quality test. We've switched over to the 4K UHD 30 frames per second video recording mode on the selfie camera. Again, just seeing how the image quality difference is like between the iPhone 15 Plus / 15 and also the Galaxy S23 Plus / S23. We've switched to the rear cameras on the iPhone 15, 15 Plus, and also on the Galaxy S23 Plus and S23 in 4K UHD 30 frames per second. Start with the main wide sensor. Again, just seeing how the image quality is like, stabilization, detail, dynamic range. You do get flexibility to switch between the lenses. I've gone to the ultra wide on both, while still recording on the same clip without having to stop recording. Go back to the 1X. 2X mode. 2X mode. And you do have a dedicated 3X zoom lens on the Samsung, whereas on the iPhone you do have to do a digital crop to 3X. And back to the main wide sensor. We've now switched to the 4K UHD 60 frames per second video recorder mode between the iPhone 15, 15 Plus, and also the Galaxy S23, S23 Plus, starting on the main wide sensor. Again, there will be an in-depth camera comparison between the iPhone 15, 15 Plus versus the Galaxy S23, S23 Plus. So be sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss that, as I will go much more in detail about the nuances in the camera. And the first thing to show, what Apple have improved here is the fact that without stopping recording in 4K 60, you can switch to the ultra wide and back to the main sensor into the 2X mode. And the switching between the lenses is the smoothest I've seen on any phone in the iPhone 15 series. It's incredibly good. You can shoot in 4K 60 on the ultra wide on the Samsung, but you do have to stop recording, then switch to the ultra wide. We are now recording in an 8K 30 frames per second video recorder mode on the Galaxy S23 versus the 4K 30 on the iPhone 15. Again, usable 8K video with minimal field of view crop, video stabilization, and dynamic range and detail being an absolute tact. This is brilliant from Samsung, allowing you to use the full capability of the main 15 megapixel wide sensor. That is it with my initial unboxing and impressions of the iPhone 15 Plus compared also to the Galaxy S23 Plus. Which iPhone 15 are you considering, or did you get? Was it a 15, 15 Plus, 15 Pro, or 15 Pro Max? Let me know in the comment section below. That's it for me, Ben from Lover of Tech. If you enjoy videos like this, you know exactly what to do. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you're part of Team TLS, the Tech Lover Squad, so you don't miss any future videos on the channel. I hope you're all safe during this time, and we'll catch you in the next one. Peace.